they've been explaining all these facts, and basically they were like, look, we want to provide affordable housing. That's our main goal. We want to solve this problem of homes, and we think we're in the position to do this using the decentralized nature of the cryptocurrency, and in particular Cardano. And the reason for Cardano in particular is, one, the founder himself, Charles Hoskin's, has been very adamant about Africa as the future.
Yep.
And then two, one of the main selling points was Atala Prism, or one of the things they were saying was, look, we want a decentralized identity system. So to be able to have an identity, and then this is why they're saying, okay, we can overcome all the poor financial structures that are in place, the bank's charging you out the arse to be able to get a loan. We can somewhat solve this through the cryptocurrency of Cardano, and then we'll come up with sort of techniques to empower people to be able to afford a house. So here's a couple of random facts that I've gotten from them. It costs about $10,000 US to build a house there. So it's not extravagant amounts. Land-wise, I'm not sure how much it costs, but I have the feeling like land isn't much of an issue.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
I wouldn't imagine it'd be very costly.
Yeah. So there's a lot of urbanization going on. Africans are moving into the cities as sort of what happens in developing countries. And the basics, what they're trying to do is, it's a lease to own sort of program. So the person will lease out the house, and every payment they're making is to eventually own it. So, you know, the typical mortgage, I guess, you're paying off the interest to be able to gradually
own the asset.
Own the asset yourself. And how they'll do this is where it gets into like tokenomics and things. So I probably won't get too deep into it, but basically, like, you buy some tokens. This helps to transfer like actual funds to the people on the ground to be able to buy the materials necessary and whatnot to build the place. The Empowa team is a small team, and what they're not trying to be the actual developers. They're trying to get developers on board with their program so that they can get funding for the developers. So they're sort of like the conduit. They're not saying
they just want to be like the linking of funds to the developers.
Essentially,
like, hey, here's a way you can do this without having to go to a bank and blah.
Each city, each municipality is going to have, you know, different types of wood that's available, or cement, or contractors. Like, they're not trying to like dive deep into the weeds. They're just saying,
sure,
we just want to partner with legit people who are good developers, build these, you know, rather by Australian standards, you say they're a small house, and relatively uninteresting. They're very blockish. There's maybe, I think, like two bedrooms, a kitchen, and whatnot. You know, it's the sort of basics, I guess. But for an African owning their own home,
who doesn't have a home,
it's like, wow, this is the coolest thing out. And I've just been diving into this, and sort of like, you know, trying to find out how legit is it, like how, because this is, I guess, the problem with charities and things like this. I was going to say,
where do they get their profits from?
Yeah, so theirs would be, I think it's. They made a real critical point at the start, which is like, look, if you want to get involved with this, don't come to us looking for a quick buck, or even to make particularly money on it. This is more of like, it's not a charity, because there is an incentive structure for you to sort of like help these people develop these, and then Africans can start paying the rent on that, and you get a portion of that rent if you sort of go down the full connecting steps. And this is why I don't particularly want to explain the tokenomics. I'm still trying to.
There'll be some details in there.
I'm trying to understand it myself.
But there's some structure in, like, there is a benefit back to empowering people who are utilizing it.
Yeah.
Sure. But it's tied to like it being successful in terms of giving people houses.
Yeah. Essentially, it's like, look, there's no guarantee you're going to make your money back on this, but, you know, we're going to try our best to do something which is, you know, good for the world, I guess. So for me, I'm sort of almost looking like it as a charity. You know, if I put some money in, I don't ever expect to see that again. But I think it's looking pretty legit from what I can tell so
Okay.
far. So I've been doing a lot of research, just trying to look at, the people they're sort of subcontracting with. What type of people are they like? How do they present themselves, and things like this.